The sirens weren't even the shocking part. It was the teenager pointing at me like I'd just stolen a car, yelling to the cops that I locked him out of his neighborhood pool. I was still holding the keys, standing by my own pool gate, trying to keep a straight face while two very confused officers tried to make sense of the situation. And Derek, yeah, that was his name, was turning red, arms flailing, shouting about how his mom said it was public property. You can't make this stuff up. One of the officers steps closer, polite but clearly skeptical, and asks me straight up, is this pool part of a shared community space? I don't say a word. I just pull the folded deed from my back pocket because at this point, I carry it with me like a shield and hand it to him. His eyebrows go up when he sees the official seal. I watch Derek's confidence start to deflate. But to really get why this whole thing is so wild, let me take you back a bit. 6 months earlier, I was a single mom grinding through life in a cramped apartment, juggling 2 jobs, trying to give my daughter Emma some kind of normal. We dreamed about having a backyard, a space that was just ours, no paper-thin walls, no shared laundry rooms, just a little peace and maybe, if we got lucky, a pool. Then one day my realtor calls foreclosure in a decent neighborhood, Maplewood Estates. Colonial-style house, 4 bedrooms, double garage, and a pool out back. The price was tight, but doable. I saw the place once and knew this was our shot. Emma saw that pool and her whole face lit up. We were all in. Now, technically, the house used to be part of an HOA. But the HOA had dissolved years ago. Too many people stopped paying dues, and the whole thing fell apart. My lawyer double-checked it, no covenants, no active rules, no shared anything. I was buying a house, not a lifestyle contract. The first few weeks were everything I'd hoped. Emma had her own room. I could sit by the pool after work, sipping tea while she splashed around, and the neighbors waved when they walked by. It felt like we'd finally made it. Then Karen showed up. She lived 3 doors down, mid-40s, styled hair, that no-nonsense posture of someone who's probably corrected waiters for fun. She brought Derek with her lanky teenager, classic, my mom gets me out of everything face. She introduced herself as the unofficial community lead, and that should have been my red flag right there. Karen told me the pool had always been open to the neighborhood. Apparently the previous owner let the local kids use it freely every summer, and she expected that I'd continue that tradition. I remember blinking at her, confused, like wait, what? I politely told her no, the pool was on private property, and I bought this place for peace and privacy. Karen gave me that tight-lipped smile, the one that says she's already decided you're a problem, and told me I was misunderstanding how things work around here. Derek didn't say much, just stared at the pool like he was already mentally cannonballing into it. Next few days, I started noticing Derek and some other teens walking real slow past my fence, peeking through the slats. Then, weird stuff, wet footprints on my deck, water splashed outside the pool, random towels left on my patio chairs. I realized they were sneaking in when I wasn't home. I called Karen, tried to keep it civil, asked her to talk to Derek. She laughed it off, said I was overreacting, that the kids aren't doing any harm. I reminded her again that this was my private property. She said, maybe if you were more neighborly, this wouldn't be an issue. Then hung up. It got worse, beer cans near the pool filter, cigarette butts in the flower beds, even graffiti on the back fence. When I caught them mid-pool party one afternoon, Derek told me flat out that his mom said he had every right to be there. I told them to leave. They argued. I threatened to call the cops. They left. But not before Derek mumbled something about me stealing what belongs to the neighborhood. So I installed a lock on the gate, posted no trespassing signs, and started pricing out security cameras. And that's when Karen went full Karen. She started this passive-aggressive war on Facebook, vague post about selfish neighbors, and entitled homeowners hoarding community resources. She never said my name, but everyone knew. Some people bought into her narrative. I got a few cold stares, some side-eye at the grocery store. But others reached out privately, told me Karen had a history of pulling power moves, acting like the HOA was still alive when it suited her. Then came the final straw. One morning, I get a motion alert from my security cam. Derek's in my pool again. Climb the fence this time. I walk out, phone in hand, recording, and tell him he's trespassing. He argues. Says I'm being dramatic. I say I've got video proof and I will use it. He leaves, but not quietly. Said I'd regret this. That this was just the beginning. Next thing I know, cops are at my door. Derek called 911, claimed I locked him out of a community pool. I'm standing there again handing over my property deed while he spins some fantasy about how I'm the villain in this story. Then, right on cue, Karen shows up, acting like she owns the block. She tells the officers that I'm violating some long-standing community agreement, that the pool was always shared and that I'm stirring up trouble where there was once unity. One of the officers looks her dead in the eye and says, "Ma'am, there's no HOA. There's no easement. This isn't community property." Karen froze. Derek looked stunned. The officer warned them if Derek set foot on my property again, we'd be talking charges. Karen tried to pivot, claimed she'd been misinformed, but the damage was done. A few days later, I got a letter. Handwritten. From Karen's husband. Apologizing. Said he had no idea it had gotten that bad, that Karen had been wrong, and that they wouldn't bother me again. I wish I could say that fixed everything, but it didn't erase the months of stress the way Emma would ask why our neighbors didn't like us, or why strange kids were in our backyard. I added taller fencing, more cameras, motion lights, the works. I wasn't just protecting a pool anymore, I was reclaiming our space. Funny thing. After that, the same neighbors who side-eyed me started showing up with compliments, beautiful fence, love what you've done with the yard, that kind of thing. Derek disappeared from our street, and Karen's Facebook campaign dried up overnight. We even started having Emma's school friends over for little pool days. It wasn't about making a point, okay, maybe a little, but mostly, I just wanted her to enjoy what we worked so hard to build. No stress. No drama. Just peace. And every now and then, I catch Karen walking by, glancing over like she's trying not to look but can't help it. And I just smile. Because I didn't take anything from anyone. I just refused to be bullied out of what I own. So what do you think? Was I in the right? Or was I just being too territorial about my own property? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you'd handle something like this.